Hello, welcome to another video. Hopefully you've enjoyed these mini dungeons. If you did, the first 10 are now available to pre-order for a zine until this Friday. I thought I'd end it on the 15th, but I'll keep it going a bit longer. So head over to oddartworks.com where you can pre-order your copy, get some maps, maybe some prompts and stuff. And yeah, oddartworks.com. Alright, on with the video. Okay. Another random mini dungeon, so again, second video in the second batch. So we rolled a 19, which gets us the Elven Court. Now, I don't mind telling you, I was not looking forward to this. For our door, we got a guarded door. For our special features, we got a throne and an ancient tree, so very in keeping with the Elven theme. And then for our unusual features, we got an elven ruler and a druid. Okay, so far so good, very foresty. For our regular things, we got rangers, an orc prisoner, and wisps. So wisps will probably be a light source, I think. And lastly, our exit is a secret exit. Okay, now I foolishly forgot to turn my camera on for the kind of very first kind of roughing out of this, because I didn't use an isometric plan. I just kind of wung it and drew a shape. But anyway, kind of planned to make this as kind of like a couple of guards at a door, and incorporating the ancient tree as actually kind of part of the room rather than a separate kind of entity. But I was not looking forward to this one because I quite enjoy, and I think I'm quite good at doing quite creepy little dungeons with monsters and things like that. So to do something that was kind of supposed to be quite elegant, quite nice, I was not looking forward to it, but I found a way around it, so I was happy. So I kind of figured this is the entrance to the court, so you've got to go up all these steps through this ornate door and across this kind of way. And I kind of thought this is the very top of the tree. And the first thing I really wanted to get in the room was this orcish prisoner who's been captured by the rangers, chained, and maybe awaiting judgment. So I think that's the narrative I was going with for this. I like that he's been brought down, he's got a couple of arrows stuck in him as well. I always like to depict elves like they're at the end of their time, so very autumnal. Maybe they've fallen from grace a little bit, they're not quite as good and the embodiment of everything that's right. They've become very insular and a little paranoid of the world outside, maybe a little envious of the younger species that have perhaps taken over a little bit. And quite what this orc's going to do, nobody knows. Maybe he's going to assassinate the elven ruler, who knows. Either way, though I wasn't looking forward to it, when I figured out how I was actually going to make it work, I did quite enjoy it. So I like the idea of this platform kind of around the very top of this tree. And I thought about the throne, and I wanted to incorporate the throne into kind of the tree trunk itself. So I played with that for a little while. It was a bit trickier than I thought, but I think I got there in the end. And I want to make the elven ruler female, you know, like an elven queen, and she's kind of all out to pass judgment on this orc. She's carrying a very hefty sword and wanting to cause all manner of death and destruction to this poor orc. And you can see I also put the secret kind of exit in the tree there as well. So yeah, it's fairly straightforward. I rolled a lot of kind of people rather than objects, which made this dungeon a bit trickier than most of the time. Normally if I get a few objects, it's quite nice to put them in as furniture and things like that. So yeah, a bit unlucky with the rolls, but you know, that's the nature of doing things randomly. You never quite know what you're going to get. But yeah, you know, I think elves in fantasy, they're quite good fun really. They take themselves quite seriously. And I feel like back when I first started role-playing, everybody wanted to play, you know, back in the 90s, everybody wanted to play an elf. And I feel like they've fallen out of fashion a little bit. People don't want to play them as much anymore. Either people feel like they've done all they can do with them, or what, I don't know. You just don't see too many elf characters anymore, which is a bit sad. You know, I think of some of my favourite elves in kind of literature. I would probably say it's not really an elf, it's half elf. Tanis Half-Elven from Dragonlance is probably my favourite elf-like character, I think, in literature. But really a half elf. Anyway, putting that druid in there, so I kind of decided rather than have them quite bestial, I thought I would have him kind of summoning lightning, like he's in control of the weather, things like that. And perhaps this druid is like an advisor to the queen and has sort of determined that this orc is no good, so we need to get rid of him. So that's what he's sort of doing there. And yeah, I kind of knew the lighting effects would do the heavy lifting with the bolt of lightning, and then I've got more ranges to include, because I felt it was looking a bit bare, so I'd already covered ranger with 1 or 2 of them. So I decided I was going to put rangers in all over the place. I feel like you know, it would take more than 2 of them to capture this orc, so I kind of thought I'll have a whole bunch of them. And my wisps to begin with look a bit like fried eggs, but you'll see when I get the lighting effects on them, they come together quite nicely. When I do trees, I really dislike drawing 10 billion leaves, so I tend to just do them in clumps. So I put like a texture over the top of it and everything else. And I kind of decided I would add kind of falling leaves when I brought it into the computer, which you'll see when I get there. But I kind of knew I was going to colour all that background in black, and I just thought I don't really want to waste time kind of trying to go around leaves only to have to fix them later, so I thought I'd do them all digitally later on, and just sort of connecting the bridge to the trunk of this tree and then getting that tree texture in there. And yeah, I think the drawing turned out okay. I knew I'd have some things to fix in the computer, mostly the detail on the elf queen's face, because it was a bit too small for my terrible eyesight to kind of see. But as a whole, I was quite pleased compositionally with this, quite liked the drama in the scene. I think, again, because I didn't roll too well, it would have been nice to have a bit more furniture and things in there, but anyway, that's how it goes. Anyway, the big fat smelly pen has come out, so that means I'm happy, because I can just colour all these darks in now. And yeah, you know, this was maybe, I think it was under an hour I drew this. I was really on it when I did this. I think it was on like a Saturday morning I did this. And I had a lot of things to do, so I thought, oh, I'll just draw it. And I kind of thought I'll get lost in how long things take, and yeah, I won't have to do those awful things, but I did end up doing it quite quickly, so I ended up having to do all my boring things like shopping and whatnot. So, but I went with a happy heart, because I'd enjoyed myself with all this lovely drawing. And yeah, just a case of filling in those darks. So I've got a drawing I'm kind of happy with. Letting it dry I normally let it dry for a good afternoon or overnight sometimes before I do all the rubbing out, because that big fat smelly pen does take a bit of time to dry. Probably doesn't take that long, but better to be safe than sorry, I think. And yeah, pretty much done there. So there's the final drawing that I scanned in. You can see there's a few things I need to fix, make the darks darker and the like, add a bit more detail to some of the ranges and the orc, and fix the queen's face. So that's what I did. I got it all into the computer. I added all the leaves, which you can see, so I like the idea of the fallen leaves. Just made the darks darker, intensified some of the shadows, fixed the queen's face, brought the shadow of that secret door all the way up a bit further, tidied the lightning up. Then I had my 3 tones of grey where everything comes to life. So really happy with it at this point. I thought, oh, we've got a nice kind of moody scene going on here. So yeah, the Elven Court was not the end of the world. I was worried, but I don't think I had reason to be worried in the end. And then colour, I wanted it to be very kind of murky, maybe autumnal a little bit. So it was a case of kind of putting in reds and greens and then laying yellows and oranges over the top to create this kind of dense atmospheric look, which I do end up changing in a minute. So you can see I made it even more autumnal when I added the lighting and everything, because I felt it just needed it. Just added a bit of a purplish glow to the lightning and a green glow to the wisps, highlighting the orc a bit more and some of the shine on the more shiny armours. And then I add the title, and we're all good. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do want a zine, be sure to head to oddartworks.com, and if you want to support the channel, consider joining the Patreon if you're financially able, and you'll get a credit at the end of this video. So big thank you to all my Patreons. Couldn't do these videos without you, really appreciate it. Alright folks, hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next time. Take it easy. Bye now.